You can never go wrong with some extra countertop. I love my hand-thrown coffee mugs. That's a neat little thing. In this tiny, 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 tiny town that I'm in currently. I don't know. Brilliant. I think I am basically completely done. Good morning, everybody. It is a very beautiful day here in Utah. So this week is actually very exciting, I think. If you are new to the channel, I'm Linnea. This is Akela, soaking up the sun. And we are hanging out, sitting on the floor of our 2016 Ram ProMaster. His name is Togo. Over the last month of traveling and living in the van, I have made a really nice list of all the things that I want to add or that I need to tweak. Before I get into any of the details for this week, I want to send a huge thanks to all of my patrons and especially the top tier patrons. It really does make a difference. If you're interested, I will post the link below. No pressure at all, just know that every little bit really helps bring these videos out every week. So I have already completed 2 of these smaller things that I wanted to add. I am the type of person that loves to write lists and I love to write on paper, so that means that I have a lot of notebooks. And rather than them taking up the majority of my very limited counter space, I decided to purchase a magazine holder and just screw it to my back wall. And it really takes up not a lot of space, and it's a really great way for me to organize all of my notebooks and stuff, which allows me more counter space in the end. And the second thing that I did was add a cork board to my very front cabinet face. I just cut out cardboard. It was actually cardboard left over from my swivel seat, and I used 3M adhesive, and I adhered that cardboard to the wood of my cabinet face. And then from there, I used the same 3M adhesive and used a flexible cork roll. I cut out the amount that I needed, adhered that on. I did tack in some small nails around the edges just to make sure that the cork board doesn't, you know, pull away from that cardboard over time. And I think it's gonna work really well. So that's a neat little thing. And now today, my hope is to get all of the wood prepped for some extra shelves that I'm looking to put in a few places. So let's get going with that, and I'll explain a bit later. Unfortunately, in this tiny, 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 tiny town that I'm in currently, this is their highest quality plywood, so this is just what I got. This is actually going to be a little extra pull-out countertop. You can never go wrong with some extra countertop. So I am going to prep this, hopefully get it all stained and finished today, and then throw the sliders on tomorrow and it'll be done.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you.
All right, while that dries, I'm moving back over here. So this next project, I think you guys are going to be very pleased with me. I am going to be moving the muffler to my heater. I think I probably got 200 comments about my muffler on my diesel heater video. Thank you. If you have not seen my diesel heater video, no problem, no biggie. I'll put it on the top if you want to check it out. Right now, the way that it's situated, it points to the underside of my van rather than to the exterior of my van, which means that, you know, exhaust and whatnot can actually collect underneath my vehicle, which apparently is not ideal, and that makes sense after the fact. Also, somebody mentioned my muffler having like a pee hole, and so I'm just gonna make sure that that is positioned so that it can drain, you know, if things build up. Which also means I need to rearrange my, what is this called? Rearrange my filter, because that's probably where my muffler will end up going.
Have you heard about the latest thing? Everybody's jacking in.
All right, next project. I love my hand-thrown coffee mugs. They all have a lot of significance to them, so don't make fun of me for having very fragile things everywhere all the time. What I've been doing is just kind of stashing them in my top drawer, but I don't really want to keep them in here anymore because this drawer can be used for other things. Check this out. I ordered a little set of iron hooks. This will allow me to hang my coffee mugs when I'm like chilling in an area for a while, which is what I like to do. awesome. I'm getting so much joy out of this. I know you're probably dying to know where I got these. I'll link it below. Okay, this is great. Shall we? Huh, weird. I have room for one more. I barely have running water, but I do have iron forged hooks for my hand thrown mugs. That's not weird. I don't know what it is. I have this ugly corner right here, so what better way to cover up a weird place in your van than with a fruit hammock? I don't know, it's brilliant. And next, extra shelving. So I cut some of this wood, and I made these cuts with not ideal tools. So it's a little crude, but I'm gonna make it look nice. So like many things that I've done in the build, I kind of just go with the flow. So I didn't really have a plan for what I wanted these tiny shelves to look like, but now I have one. So this is what I'm gonna do. These are going to be here. This is going to create a small lip on the bottom of the tiny shelf, and this will create a little holder there like so. So those little ones are done, and now I'm going to start working on my larger one over, oh my God, there's a spider right there. I spend a lot of time in the wilderness. I love backcountry stuff, but when it comes to spiders, man, no thank you. Give me a snake any day, or a tick, or a lion. Just don't give me a spider. And now I'm gonna start working on the shelf above where my head is when I sleep. But the tricky part is that it is curved. So maybe I'll go make a template of that curve. Yeah, I'm gonna do that first. And this is what I came up with. It's a very, 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 very simple little shelf. This is what I needed to create the template of to fit my wall. Also for this, I might need to go and get some like L brackets for the bottom. I'm not sure if they're gonna have them here at this hardware store, so that might be a later installment, but we'll see. And it is a new day. I just went to the store, hopefully for the last time, and I think I picked up everything I need to finish these projects. This morning I put one more coat of polyurethane on all the wooden things I built. I had very limited options for brackets for underneath my shelf. So I picked up these, which are very cheap and match nothing. So I'm just gonna paint them black and I think it'll turn out fine. And the first coat is on. I'm feeling scattered. I got some nice slides for this little countertop. Also, I know that I'm kind of flying through a lot of these projects and packing in a lot of the little things that I'm doing. I have broken down every little piece of what I've done in my van build. Go check out my van build series. Shameless little plug there. Okay, wish me luck. Can I even stick this? I don't want to remove my fridge. Ooh, my fridge kind of smells. Poop shovel for the win. If you don't have a flathead screwdriver, you can use this. That, by the way, when I say poop shovel, that's not poop, that's dirt, okay? All right. All right, let's finish this up. And just like that, I have a little pull-out countertop. Looks like a giraffe. I'm sitting in my swivel seat right now. If I were to do this differently, I think I would actually drop these slides a little bit because right now there's a little bit of a lip here. Love, love, love this addition. I don't love that it doesn't look like my other countertop, but that's okay. I can always change it out with a different board later. One last little thing that I'm going to add to this is a little hook and eyes so that I can latch this little corner here so it doesn't come flying out when I drive. But I'll do that later. All right, these next. And I got the first one on. It's nice and sturdy. The way that I wanted to put these together was so it looked like you can't see any screw heads or nail heads or anything like that. I used my Craig jig to make a lot of pocket holes. I love, 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 love my Craig jig. If you are looking at getting into a van build and you're doing everything yourself like I did, cabinetry, drawers, everything, get a Craig jig. I am not sponsored by Craig jig at all. This is not an ad. I literally love that tool so much. Could not live without it. And these two little shelves are in and are ready to be used. The next line of business is putting my long, skinny overhead shelf up. I think this is going to be pretty tricky. I know where my studs are behind this wall. I have thick, I want to say I used 1/2-inch ply. So when I screw it in, not only will I be screwing through this tongue and groove, but I'll also be screwing through and into that stud, which means it'll be extra strong. Hopefully, we'll see. I'll let you know.
When the night comes crawling and I'm all alone.
It's up and it's really sturdy. I'm awfully impressed. I think it looks really good with that wall. One of the things that's on my list is to purchase window covers. And I did already purchase them, they just haven't gotten here yet. They won't be here for another week. With that being said, I suggest doing kind of a deep dive into your options, and I will link the window covers that I got below. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because of one thing, and that is the R value and the difference in the R value depending on which color you choose. Originally, I almost chose the window covers that look like wood veneer, basically. They have like wood grain color. The wood grain color is, I want to say, between like 6 or 10 less in R value than the traditional silver. I'm really excited for my window covers. I have just been using like a dirty blanket and hanging it up. But I think it's time to graduate away from the dirty blanket. All right, next is, I don't know yet. I'm gonna make some popcorn, I'm so hungry. I'm pretty serious about my popcorn. I need to place the CO detector. I've had this for weeks and it's been hanging out in a drawer. I know that's stupid, but that's why I'm putting it up now. And another important thing complete. So car fires are a pretty real thing, and especially, you know, camper vans, there's just a lot of extra stuff in them that can catch on fire / cause a fire, including humans being stupid. So I was told don't get the like tiny ones for automotive stuff because they don't do a whole lot, so I got a decent sized one. As far as where I'm going to put this fire extinguisher, I'm not 100% sure yet. I am going to think on it, so that will come later, but I have that and the CO detector is up and working well. It's extremely obnoxious, which means it's doing its job. I don't think there's anything else that's pressing or really needed left on the van. I think I am basically completely done. It feels really great to have extra space to put stuff so I don't feel as cluttered in a lot of areas, and all the little things like fire extinguisher, CO detector, moving my muffler. Doing that kind of stuff makes me feel a lot safer on the road as well. And of course the fun little things that make this feel a little bit more like my home. This week felt super fun for me to like get back in the shop and use my tools again, and makes me feel like there might be another van build, or maybe a house build, maybe a tiny house, some other build in my future for sure. And I know over these next few years or however long I live in Togo, I'm gonna really miss doing this like a lot. With that being said, I think it's time for a final van tour. There are a few little things that I need to add that weren't worth showing you guys, and then I think Akela and I will bring you a final van tour next week. So stay tuned and we'll see you then. I almost forgot. Make sure you like this video, subscribe if you are not already subscribed, because Akela and I are going to do some really fun things these next few months, so you don't want to miss out. Alright, I think that's all. I think I'll actually say goodbye now. We'll see you next week.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun.